the boys are in great spirits. They trained exceptionally well last night on the match stadium. They're just eager to get the game on, and so it's as I said, they're fresh mentally. Winning both games against Jordan as well as the UAE has given rebuilt that belief that we had, and I truly believe that we improved from the Jordan game to the UAE, and the UAE game was better, and we'll do that again, and we need to.
Michael Lynch.
Yes, Arnie, can you tell us basically about the state of injuries? Is Trent Sainsbury going to be available for you? What's the position with Taggart and any other people who've got injuries?
Yeah, Jason Davidson is out with a bit of a hamstring. Trent and Taggart, they trained individually last night, and we will test them tonight. But other than that, all the boys have pulled up exceptionally well after the UAE game, and as I said, they're fresh and they're ready to go.
Would you be in a position to pick Sainsbury, who has been a regular starter for you, if he's available?
I think that's Michael, too early to say that, because as I said, we've got to see how he's pulled up this morning. I haven't seen. It's only early in the morning here at the moment. I haven't seen the players as yet, or I haven't had a meeting with the medical staff to give me an update on where it's at.
Okay.
Sorry.
Marco's come off mute. Marco?
Yeah, sorry mate, yeah. Just on that, Arnie, I know Trent's been, quite, he's been there for the whole campaign, just about. But even if he is fit, would you be reluctant, because of how you said before, how the team's performed over the past couple of games with Kai and Bailey there, to change that into such a big match?
Yeah, look, the one thing that we'd have to think about with Trent, Marco, is that the last game he played was April 15 at Kortrijk in Belgium. He hasn't really had a game since then, and a full 90 minutes, and and obviously he's had this injury. So, again, we just have to monitor how he is this afternoon, tonight, and see how he trains, and whether he'll be part of that starting 11 or not.
Joey Lynch.
Arnie, what's your current thinking around the striking situation? Obviously, you've got Taggart trying to get back fit. You started Lecky up there.
Yeah.
McLaren looked good when he came on, got into the box and tested the UAE. What's your current thinking around your striking stocks?
Yeah, look, I think Lex did very, very well there against the UAE. He chased and harassed the centre backs and did a fantastic job. Fortunately, we've got those couple of options that you talked about, plus Mitchell Duke and Nick D'Agostino. So again, it's a meeting this morning, and I know what in my brain, I know what it is, but at the moment I can't share that with you.
Simon Hill.
Hey Arnie, I just wanted to ask you about the right back position. Obviously that was an area of the pitch that caused you one or two issues against the UAE. Have you worked on that specifically this week in training, and are you considering maybe making a change in that area of the field?
Yeah, look, I think we have worked on it, Simon, with Nathaniel and Fran. I think in that as well, Nathaniel got isolated a couple of times against a player that had very, very good speed. So it was also the fact that him being helped from players in and around him as well, and at times he let the player turn and face him and use his speed where he's got to not let the player turn. So obviously we've worked on that and spoken about it and showed the fullbacks those type of situations. But again, those two players are in calculations.
Ante Jukic.
G'day, Graham. Firstly, all the best.
Thank you.
You always want to play, I guess, the way you want to play, but I guess you could say over the past couple of windows that the opponent has also conditioned how you set up in midfield, and even against the UAE during the week. Does that change coming into the Peru game?
Look, I've obviously reviewed Peru on a number of occasions. They're a typical South American team that, you know, they're disciplined. They're all over the place. And when I say that, they've got quality players, of course. And when I say disciplined all over the place, sometimes they'll have two wingers on the same side of the pitch. Sometimes they'll have two eights on the same side of the pitch, and they're a bit off the cuff. But we have to adapt to that and make sure that our communication is very, very good, and that we pass people on. But look, overall, I think that we have our strengths as well, and we've got to play to our strengths. And the everything that I've been driving since we've been able to do this camp has been around, making sure that we work hard, and when we lose possession, we get back behind the ball, and we make things difficult for the opposition. And I think obviously a South American team, we haven't played them in World Cup qualifiers since 2005. That they will throw a different challenge at us, but I do believe that the boys will be ready for it.
Michael Lynch.
Arnie, 4 years ago you played them in the World Cup proper in Sochi, lost 2-0. You were part of the Van Marwijk staff then.
No, Lynchy, sorry, I wasn't part of it. I wasn't there.
Well, you were observing.
I was, yeah. I wasn't part of the staff. I was
right.
up in the grandstand as a fan.
No, you were there because we spoke. But are there any lessons or anything out of that game, or is 4 years just too long to have any relevance or bearing on this match?
No, I think there's quite a relevance there. Lynchy, they've got the same coach. They're probably at 6 or 7 players the boys played against. So, the boys, we've got 5 or 6 players that also played in that game that they take that experience away from them. And I've spoken to those 5 or 6 players about, what they learned from that match and what they felt from that match. The comment back to me was pretty much that, it was the 3rd game, we'd already been knocked out, and that, that they were pretty fatigued. But the boys are really confident, and they've got great belief that we can get this job done.
Simon Hill.
Just harking back to 2005 that you talked about there. Obviously, you won on penalties that night against Uruguay. I know that you practiced the day before at Stadium Australia. Have you been through that again in camp this week, and how have you tried to replicate that pressure? Not that you can, I know.
Plan A, B and C, always, I've always that on paper, but also in penalty shootout we practiced even before the UAE game and before the Jordan game we did it, and we've continually practiced it, that, we make sure that all the boys, we'll do a little drill in the middle of the centre circle, and then the boys have to walk up and like they would, so it's like a rehearsal, like they would in a game, and take a penalty and then come back. So, as I said, we're ready for everything that is thrown at us.
Okay, last couple of questions. Joey Lynch.
Arnie, just getting back to Fran for a second, Fran Karacic. He's obviously struggled with his fitness this season because obviously he caught COVID and that's really affected his cardiovascular capacity. Is he in a situation where, and if he did start, is he capable of playing 90 or possibly 120 minutes in such a high-stakes game? And are there any other players in the squad facing similar dilemmas?
Look, Joey, I think a number of us have had long COVID, and I think that Fran was one that probably, after the Q8 games last year, that he, when he caught it, he really knocked him about. But I think, when you look at him now, he's physically back to where he was before. Obviously, he's had a season in the Serie B that he didn't play consistently that much, but he's in good mental spirits and good shape. So I expect that all these boys, obviously they can't all play, and they won't all play 90 minutes, but I expect that if they had to, they all could play 120 minutes.
Marco Monteverde.
Again, mate, you've spoken, in this camp a lot about the Aussie DNA, the fighting spirit, doing whatever it's going to take to win this game or these games. And now this one, obviously, you know, I guess, are you prepared for what Peru might do in terms of slowing the game down? And like, you know, I mean, like how important is that spirit and the DNA and the will to win going to be in the face of what Peru might sort of throw up on Tuesday morning?
Yeah, look, Marco, I think especially with that, you know, with what we've been driving, the Aussie DNA, especially with one-off games. Normally, you know, in the past, a World Cup campaign has been a 2-year project. For us, you know, with the pandemic, it's been a 1-year project. Normally these games are played home and away, but these games are now just one-off games. And we've been able to drive that Aussie DNA of a one-off game is a final, a grand final. There is no second chances. And you get out there and leave everything on the park. So, you know, no doubt, you know, obviously, Peru being a South American country that is obviously, you know, qualified for last World Cup. I think they got runners-up in the Copa America in 2019 or 20. So obviously they're a good side. But our strengths, you know, is that hard work, but also is getting in the opposition faces and don't let them play. Take their strengths away from them, and you know, as I said, and making sure that we play to our strengths. And as I said, the boys are in good shape mentally, physically, and we're ready to go out there and give it our best for our nation.
And just last question to Michael Lynch.
Yeah, Arnie, you talked about playing 90 and 120 minutes. Is Aaron Moy capable of doing that? He came through pretty well off a very limited preparation, but if it goes to 120, he's a key figure for you, isn't he? How confident are you that Moy can actually go the distance? Yeah,
Lynchy, you know, I'm confident that Aaron will get through the 90, and no one wants to go to extra time, so we're planning, you know, for Aaron to get through that 90, and obviously with these type of games, you've got to adjust as you go and have plan A, B, C and D ready for whatever happens. And, you know, but Aaron's in really good shape. You've got to give full credit to the guy for what he's doing and done, the sacrifices that he's taken to be here, and he's in real good spirits.